Sometimes making a whole apple pie is just like a bridge too far, which is when you make apple roses. These apple roses are completely adorable, and they're great for any occasion, from kids' parties to adult teas. Happily, they're also terribly easy to make. For them, you're going to need some butter and some puff pastry, apples, marmalade, and some cinnamon sugar. Now, it's quite nice to choose red apples because they've sort of got little red bits on the outside, which makes it look quite pretty at the end of the day. These apple roses became all the rage a couple of years back, and then we all forgot about them, so I thought I'd reintroduce them because they are very dear and actually quite fun to make. Now, you can use a sharp knife or you can invest in a mandolin. It depends how serious you want to get about this apple making. Then you want to whir away without taking the top of your fingers off. Don't worry if your apple goes slightly brown, because two things are going to happen. One, you're going to pop it into some acidulated water, which just means water with some lemon juice. Basically, not really to bring back the colour so much, it's just to soften the apple slightly so it's a bit bendy and you can roll it. And then you're going to bake them, so having sort of bright white apple is not going to matter at the end of the day anyway. So I've got some hot water here, and there's some lemon juice in it already, but I may as well just in for a penny, in for a pound. And then you're just going to pop the apple in there and just stir it about a bit. So the idea is it just makes the apple a bit malleable. Leave that there for a few minutes while I sort out the pastry situation. So I've got some store-bought puff pastry, because life is short and puff pastry is not something one wants to make. Short crust, not so bad. Okay, here we are now. Just unroll it. Remember, your pastry, when you work with it, must be very cold, so it literally just come out of the fridge. And then I think we need to roll this out somewhat, because the apple rose requires rolling, and if you've got very thick pastry, you're just going to end up with a sort of massive apple rose rather than something a little more delicate. Just give it as much as you can. As I said, this is quite a nice thing to do with the kids, if you like, if they like it. Trixie's quite fond of this sort of thing. All right, I'm just going to cut off the bad bits. And then you want to cut it into strips. Not too wide and not too thin either. Okay, and that's plenty. Go. Right, now we're in business. Let's check on our apples. Oh, these look great, sort of a bit softened, really. Just going to drain those over here. Right. So let's just sort that out. They're going to just drain slightly. In fact, I think I'm going to use some Carlton towel just to get any sort of excess liquid off. You don't want wet pastry. Terrific. Now I'm going to grab some marmalade, this being about apples and oranges after all. If you wanted to make it go slightly further, you could heat it, and then you wouldn't use quite as much, but I'm a bit of a marmalade fan, I have to say. So I'm going to put extra on. All right, that's quite haphazard. Now grab your apples and just kind of make, well, what can I call it? Sort of little hoops, apple hoops. Now you want them to come above the pastry because you want them to sort of poke out and look like petals at the end of the day. There we go. Now you fold the pastry up and then you roll. Roll, roll, roll. You could do this quite happily with phyllo pastry, which would be a lot more delicate. And isn't that the dearest little thing? Makes a girl very happy. So it's really not that difficult. I mean, if I can do it, then I guarantee it, you can do it too. I mean, I can't see any reason why not. So then you fold it up, fold, fold. And it doesn't really have to be terribly exact, because if it did, I wouldn't be making it at all. It's quite squishy with the marmalade. Beautiful. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of cinnamon sugar on the top. Not entirely necessary, but it'll make a lovely sort of brownie caramelization thing go on. And you can definitely do this and then pop these in the fridge until you're ready to bake them if you want to. But they last perfectly well. I know, because I made some earlier. 180 degrees, about 20 minutes or so. Right, and because this is television, I did actually make some earlier. And are they not pretty as little pictures? I hope I've inspired you to cook with apples and oranges. Enjoy. These apple roses are the sweetest things in the universe. Serve them warm with cream or vanilla ice cream. They're easy, yet impressive, just the way we like things.